Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. By the grace of God, rescuers say that's how a woman survived a harrowing rescue from the Kern River yesterday after her pool float broke loose and carried her downriver. We're live from the river this morning with tips and a stern warning.
Drama at a Tehachapi City Council meeting over claims of wrongful termination by a police officer and allegations of racial comments from the man who fired him. We'll take you to that meeting.
A man who embodied what Bakersfield's all about is being remembered this week. The community loves so much rallying around his family now. We'll have details of several fundraisers in his honor. This is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019. Good morning. Great to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher and Kevin Charette.
Well, have you heard any yet? Fireworks?
No, I've been fairly lucky in my neighborhood. I haven't had any crazy fireworks yet, but I know they're on sale now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, officially underway.
just make sure they're safe and sane, and then you probably won't hear much.
And there's also certain regulations on when you can use them, and you can find all of that, by the way, at the hot link at KGET.com.
Perfect. On the weather front, it was a nice day yesterday, 93 degrees, and guess what? We're going to be on track with that today. So it's always good when we can stay in the 90s instead of inching up into the triple digits, and there you go. Monday's high, 93, and again, on that date, last year, we hit 103, so a big difference. Right now, we've got 68 degrees in Bakersfield, an easterly wind at 3 miles per hour, and as we take a look at the day, we'll start out in the 60s, and then by 11 o'clock, 82, and by 5, we'll be right near 93. For the Tehachapi area, 57 degrees, a west wind at 10. I do expect the winds to pick up throughout the day. A wind advisory for the mountain and desert areas, and you can see the temperatures throughout the day will rise into the 70s once again. So a very nice day ahead.
5:02 now new this morning. A man's in the hospital after rolling his car in central Bakersfield, and police say alcohol may have been a factor in the crash. The solo car crash happened at the intersection of 24th and C Streets just after 10 last night. Bakersfield police say the man was driving east on 24th when somehow he rolled his car. Paramedics rushed him to the hospital where at last check he was listed in critical condition. Investigators believe speed and alcohol were factors in the crash.
Also new this morning, 2 people are behind bars accused of trying to kidnap a toddler from a mother's arms in a South Bakersfield parking lot. Police say it all happened yesterday afternoon at a Walmart on Colony Street. The mother told police 2 people walked up to her near her car. That's when she says a man assaulted her and a woman tried to grab her 1-year-old from her arms. Police say the mother and child were able to get away. The mother suffered minor injuries, but the toddler was not hurt. Officers arrested 21-year-old Autumn Padilla and 28-year-old Manuel Cepeda. Both are being held on a $120,000 bail and are set to appear in court tomorrow.
A nationwide day of protests is happening in light of new reports of inhumane conditions and migrant detention centers at the U.S.-Mexico border. Several rights groups have come together to organize Close the Camps protests. More than 180 protests are happening at local offices of Congress members while they're home for the 4th of July holiday. Protesters are demanding Congress close the camps, stop funding family detention and deportation, and instead reunite families. There are not any protests happening here in Bakersfield, but there are 2 planned at Representative Devin Nunes's office in Clovis and Visalia, as well as numerous protests planned in Los Angeles.
Tehachapi City Council meetings have been heated in recent weeks, and last night was no different. The hot-button discussion of former cops' claim of wrongful termination. 17's Kern River has more.
Peter Graff says he was wrongfully terminated from his job as a Tehachapi police officer in November 2016. He says he's brought up the case to City Council about a dozen times over 2.5 years. City Manager Greg Garrett commented last night that they took no reportable action.
It destroyed my family. I lost property, lost a house, got a divorce. I mean, they devastated my life because I told the truth.
Peter Graff has wanted to sue the Tehachapi Police Department for wrongful termination since November 2016. The reason he says he was fired:
I had to testify at grand jury about racial comments made by Chief Kroger and a hostile work environment.
He says he filed his letter of appeal within the 10-day limit after he was fired. But some are skeptical.
From the documents that Mr. Graff has produced and been able to give to me, He does not have the proof that he met the timeliness.
The problem? He must have a city council hearing before he's allowed to get an attorney.
I can't sue for wrongful termination because I can't get to that phase yet.
In the meantime,
they won't release my employment history. So me trying to go after a job and apply somewhere else has virtually made it impossible.
So after 2.5 years,
do your job.
He has an ultimatum for the next city council meeting.
If they don't put me on agenda for that paperwork and address my matter, then yes, then the recall starts.
A recall of Mayor Wiggins and council members Davies and Smith.
It is another word for impeachment.
Again, City Council offered no comment other than to say they took no reportable action. The next City Council meeting will be on Monday, July 15th at 6 p.m. As always, the meeting is open to the public at 300 South Robinson Street. I'm Karen Hua, 17 News.
It is 5:06 now, and the sudden death of a Los Angeles Angels player is sending shockwaves through Angel fans, staff, and Major League Baseball. Tyler Skaggs was found dead at a hotel in Texas yesterday, hours before the team was set to play the Rangers. Investigators don't believe foul play was involved in his death. The 27-year-old was making a name for himself on the mound and was a draw to those emotionally committed to the team. Fans set up a makeshift memorial outside of Angel Stadium yesterday. Last night's game was postponed, but the Angels and Rangers are set to take the diamond today at 5 o'clock. And coming up in about 40 minutes, we'll have reaction from Angels fans about Skaggs' death later today.
Meantime, Bakersfield continues to mourn the loss of one of its best. David Marcus, who was affectionately called Mr. Bakersfield, died Friday at the age of 60. Today, Jersey Mike's Subs is holding a fundraiser for the Marcus family from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20% of the proceeds from meals sold at the restaurant go to the family. This is happening at the Jersey Mike's on Coffee Road, just off Hageman. Meantime, Jersey Mike's isn't the only local business working to support the Marcus family. Clothing store Vibe Stitch is selling Live Like David hats to honor Marcus. The hats cost $30 and come in 3 different designs, including I Love David and Spreading Positivity, both with a thumbs up. The store's owners say they've brought in $2,000 from sales so far. The company says 100% of the proceeds will go to the Marcus family. You can buy them at vibestitch.com.
Centennial High School Athletic Director Tom Haskell says an account has been set up at Kern School's Federal Credit Union to help pay for funeral expenses. If you'd like to donate, you can. The account numbers are there on your screen, 869-530. That's Kern School's Federal Credit Union account, care of David Marcus, 869-530. And the Marcus family says if you come to the funeral, try not to wear black. A celebration of life service is planned for 10 o'clock Saturday morning at Valley Bible Fellowship Church on East Brundage Lane, followed by a burial at Green Lawn Cemetery Northeast. In a Facebook post, his family's asking you to wear your favorite high school t-shirt or jersey in honor of his love for local sports or anything colorful. In the post, the family says, quote, just avoid black. We are not mourning. We are celebrating.
5:08 now. It nearly happened again. Crews had to rescue a woman from the Kern River after she was carried downstream near Keeseville. KCSO says it happened just before 1 o'clock yesterday at the Keeseville North campsite. That's not far from Lake Isabella. These are pictures of the search and rescue team that they shared with us. A witness called KCSO after seeing the 41-year-old being carried downstream in an inflatable raft off Keeseville Beach. KCSO managed to spot her a mile away by helicopter, floating without a life vest on. Crews were then able to pull her to safety.
In this case, our victim, the woman, she was incredibly lucky. She broke loose. Obviously, she was not tied off well enough. She was in an inflatable device that was not suitable for the river. And quite honestly, it was really just by the grace of God that she survived.
Yesterday's rescue comes 2 days after 4 people were pulled from Lake Ming, from the river near Lake Ming, that is, and as search efforts continue in the Keeseville area for 2 teens and an 11-year-old who all disappeared last month. The Tulare County Sheriff's Office is also searching for a 38-year-old man who was carried away north of Kernville. So far, search crews have recovered 1 male body in Keeseville, which remains unidentified. Welcome back. Kern County getting ready to celebrate the red, white, and blue. Fireworks went on sale yesterday in Bakersfield for local nonprofits like Canyon Hills Church. Fireworks sales are the biggest fundraiser of the year.
There's not too many fundraisers you can do that raise this much in such a short amount of time. That would be a lot of car washes and candy bar sales to make as much as you can with a fireworks booth in about 4 days.
Kern County and Bakersfield fire crews want people to be safe when buying and using fireworks. To be legal here in California, all fireworks must have that state fire marshal seal and that slogan that says safe and sane. If the seal's broken or modified in any way, the fireworks are illegal. They'll be confiscated and you could be fined. Bakersfield police also reminding people not to fire guns off into the air to celebrate the 4th. BPD says sometimes stray bullets fired into the sky wind up hitting innocent bystanders. Officers will be patrolling areas of the city that saw illegal gunfire and firework activity last year. They'll also be relying on the shot spotter technology to help pinpoint where gunfire is coming from. Police say the system's programmed to distinguish between gunfire and fireworks.
Preparations are underway for the 4th of July celebration in our nation's capital. The U.S. celebrates 243 years of independence on Thursday. President Trump is planning to add more to Washington's usual celebration with music and military demonstrations. He also plans to give a speech at the event, which he's predicting hundreds of thousands of people will attend. Though Democrats are concerned the president is using his platform and taxpayer money to politicize the day. Other presidents have participated in 4th of July festivities, but only one has taken a truly active role when President Harry Truman delivered a speech about the Korean War in 1951.
Here at home, from the Park at River Walk in Bakersfield to events in Taft, Shafter, and Tehachapi, there are plenty of ways you can sit back and let the pros put on the shows. We've put on a list of events happening around the county on our website, KGET.com. Just click on the hot link icon.
Welcome back. Shoemaker Nike yanked a new patriotic sneaker just before it was set to hit store shelves. The Air Max 1 Quick Strike 4th of July had already been delivered to retailers and were supposed to go on sale yesterday, but Nike asked for them all back. The Wall Street Journal reports the decision was made after former NFL player Colin Kaepernick complained about the design. The shoe features an early version of the American flag, showing 13 stars in a circle to represent the original 13 colonies. Betsy Ross designed that famous flag during the American Revolution. It was used as the country's official banner from 1777 to 1795, but Kaepernick reportedly says it harkens back to a time of slavery. Thinking of hitting the road for the 4th of July holiday? Well, you may want to get a head start to beat all that traffic. A record-breaking number of Americans will be traveling this Independence Day, nearly 2 million more than last year. Karen Kaifa has more.
Barbecues, fireworks, parades, and traffic. For Americans across the country, this 4th of July is likely to be filled with summer fun and potentially some headaches as a record-breaking number of Independence Day revelers get away for the holiday.
It's going to be busy. We are projecting that 49 million Americans will be traveling more than 50 miles away from home this year. That's about a 4% increase from what we saw in 2018.
According to AAA, a 10-cent decrease in gas prices over last year, coupled with a strong economy, are likely behind much of the increase.
See, unemployment is low. Americans have additional disposable income, so they're taking that additional money and putting it towards a trip with friends and family this year.
A record 41.4 million drivers are planning on road tripping this year. But all those extra cars on the road will likely lead to extra delays, as long as 4 times the average commute in larger metro areas.
Best bet if you want to avoid congestion, try to leave early in the morning, or if your schedule allows, try to actually leave on the day of the holiday.
And to avoid travel troubles on the road, have your car inspected before getting out the door. For Consumer Watch, I'm Karen Kaifa.